Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? It's EK here, and today we are going to be talking about a little bit more adult subject, and if you haven't heard, it is kind of a big deal, and so we're going to be talking about the website OnlyFans and basically the announcement this previous week, where basically the website will be banning explicitly sexual content from its website moving forward on as of October 1st. So if you're not familiar with OnlyFans, which would be weird if you're not, but if you're not familiar with this OnlyFans site, basically, well, in its most basic function, it's basically a website where it hosts content for content creators in order for them to monetize their content. So, and it can also be completely free too. But basically, it allows content creators to have people pay for pictures, videos, and other things for them, and also donate to their content if they so choose to. And there's also a subscription model too, if you want to just subscribe to a certain user, and then, you know, depending on how the content creator structures their own material, it allows people to look at their stuff and pay X amount. So in general, it basically can be used for anything. Like, I think there's people who use it for like giving lessons on how to like do cook stuff, and I mean it houses whatever content, like pretty much like you can think of. However, one thing that it was really known for previously was adult content, because OnlyFans basically was like, you know, do whatever the heck you want. We don't have any kind of rules, except unless it's like illegal, then obviously they're not going to host that type of stuff. But as long as it's legal, then they'll host anything. So a lot of adult performers and people in the adult industry uses this website to monetize their content, because, you know, basically with the introduction of the internet and so much streaming and, like, you know, places where they can host clips and stuff, a lot of the adult entertainment industry or like the workers, they're not getting the money that they're supposed to be due. One thing that's also been extremely, I guess you could say, helpful for a lot of these adult workers, you know, especially people who are in the escort services and other things, they've been able to use this website, especially in the pandemic, to essentially make money. You know, there are people who were down and out, you know, like restaurant workers who are like, you know, I don't mind selling parts of myself on this site. They're able to make a lot of money. And according to this article by CNBC, there are over about 300 OnlyFans creators that have reportedly earned over $1 million annually on this sucker. So this is a big money maker for a lot of people in the adult industry, or like in the industry itself. Like, I mean, they don't say if it's adult creators, but it's OnlyFans creators, and more than 16,000 creators make at least $50,000 a year. So people have been able to make a huge living off of this. Now, is it going to be all adult content? They don't say. They don't really give like a revenue breakdown in terms of what is actually adult versus non-adult. There is this Axios report, so we can click on it and maybe it'll give us a little bit of insight into what it's making. But as of right now, for 2021, it's slated to make over $1 billion. So this company is worth a lot. Now, like I said earlier, earlier this week, basically it's OnlyFans decided to pretty much really restrict what kind of content people put on here, mainly because of, you know, payment processors like MasterCard and Visa and other credit card holders. They're basically they're cutting ties with a lot of these, a lot of pornography companies and adult entertainment companies because they don't want to be a part of a world where certain people might be exploited. Now, who gets exploited or like how exploitation works is a whole other issue, but basically, MasterCard and Visa cut ties with big, huge websites like Pornhub because they don't want to be associated with things like underage sex, rape, and revenge porn, which is definitely a huge problem in the adult entertainment industry. But a lot of it is also completely legit, and the problem is, how do you decipher between the two? Because it's not hard for some people to say like, "Oh, this looks like revenge porn." But it's like, "Oh no, it's all fake." We're just pretending here. It's all for the story, which is also means if there's like demand for it, then there's some sick mothers out there. But we're not here to talk about those things. We're more talking about like as a business decision, what is going to happen to OnlyFans. So now, depending on what their revenue streams are like, this can really, really, really hurt this company because OnlyFans, the reason they're doing this is because one, they need to make sure that people like MasterCard and Visa, they will support their website in terms of as a form of payment in order for some people who buy content can't actually use their credit cards. Another reason is for them to get investor money. So, which I don't even know why they would need investor money if their revenue streams are over $1 billion. Like, at this point, like you don't need like outside investors to get money from them. Like, unless they just want hyper growth, which is like every tech company in the world these days. Like, they want this money to be in their pockets immediately instead of trickle in. Well, in their case, it's not really trickling in, but instead of coming in on a daily basis. So, but what is it going to really do to this website? Because at the end of the day, like, I can only imagine that the majority of the revenue is from adult content. Now, for the people who don't make adult content or make very softcore, pornography on here, where it's just like, nudity, but it's not explicit per se. They have nothing to worry about. People who just show certain body parts that is not in a way that's like super graphic. I'll just, put it that way. Like, a lot of these people will be completely okay. They won't be affected by this ban, most likely, depending on who is actually kind of combing through this material. But the people who are basically putting up very, very explicit content, like intercourse or other forms of types of content where it's like very explicit, they're going to be hit hard, and they're going to start losing subscribers. They can't obviously sell that type of content. So I can only imagine that a huge part of OnlyFans' revenue stream is going to be basically disappear overnight, or at least in a matter of a few days, weeks, or months, depending on how hard they're going to ban this stuff. Which also means like this can't help their own now. Like, unless OnlyFans has a plan to kind of to recover from this revenue loss, like I don't know how many investors are really gonna be like, yeah, we're still gonna invest you even though you just lost like 25% of the revenue. Like, that is gonna be devastating for them, and the investors are gonna be like, well, what's the point of, like, one, like, you're still technically kind of in the porn business, so like I don't know if I want to really invest money in you. But now too, you're also losing revenue because you just make this rule that cut off a lot of your revenue stream. So like, I feel like it's like a lose-lose for OnlyFans at this point in terms of like what they're doing here, and it's really not going to help them out in the long run. There's a lot of other websites out there who are basically picking up all the stuff that OnlyFans is going to be leaving behind, and they are going to grow astronomically in terms of revenue. And so depending on how hard they're actually gonna kind of enforce these new rules, we'll see if they're actually, if it's, you know, if this is actually going to actually hurt, how much it's going to hurt them. So, I mean, from my perspective, if a good majority or like a good portion of OnlyFans revenue is from all this type of, you know, not safe for work, very explicit type of content, then they're going to have a lot of issues finding people who think that they can recover that revenue and also grow it in the next few years due to this type of ban. But that's just kind of my take on it. I'm not going to go too much into the morality of, you know, adult workers and adult entertainment, but I feel like as a business move, this is basically like McDonald's saying like, hey, we're gonna have the Big Mac anymore. You know, it's like it's probably a good I mean, it's probably not the majority of your revenue, but it's probably a good portion, you know, and you're a burger place, so like, why wouldn't you have this? Or, you know, something like, say, KFC saying like, you know, they're not gonna be doing mashed potatoes anymore. I don't know why I'm just thinking of food, but, you know, it's the same type of thing where, you know, may not be the majority of their revenue, but it's probably a good chunk of it, and they're going to be, you know, and they're going to be losing out on a lot of money in order to get something that may not even benefit them in the long run. So who knows? But that's just my take on it. What do you guys think? Now, again, you know, we're not going to talk about, you know, whether adult entertainment should be support, like, you know, the kind of the more moral things and like about it. It's just more about like the business aspect of this. So, you know, what do you guys think about this? Please leave it in the comments. What do you guys think? And, you know, let's talk about this and let's have a discussion. So, but my 2 cents is like, this is a big mistake. But anyways, that's just my take on this. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and hope everyone is staying safe out there and staying clean. And I hope that, you know, everyone has a great day. So take it easy.